Wellspring, the Avalanche have tied a franchise record 3 straight games with a shutout. The last time they've done that, Patrick Waugh was in net for all three of those victories back in November of 2001. And you'll remember they won a cup in that 01 season. Now it's not Patrick Waugh. It's a stretch of two goaltenders in Scott Wedgwood and Mackenzie Blackwood. I understand it's the San Jose Sharks, and that's not a team you're expecting to compete for a Stanley Cup championship this year, but 3 straight games is no joke, and it feels as though not only would the Avs not lose a hockey game anytime soon, they're not getting scored on anytime soon. This wagon continues to roll.
Well, we've talked about it. There's no Patrick Waugh in today's NHL. The closest thing we've seen, like the best goaltender I've seen individually in recent years, was Andrei Vasilevsky when the Lightning won those couple of Stanley Cups. I don't think anyone, and even that wasn't quite on that Waugh or Brodeur level. But I haven't, since Vasilevsky was at his peak, and he's still playing well. There's no such goaltender in the NHL. So you know what? Two heads in today's NHL. It's not necessarily better than one, but it's kind of the formula actually. And lo and behold, it's two men whose surname ends in Wood. Go figure. You got Blackwood, you got Wedgwood. And look, okay. Nashville, Chicago, San Jose. These aren't world beaters. Chicago and San Jose are up and coming, led by 2 first overall picks in recent years who are potentially the future of the league, but we ain't in the future yet. We're in the now. And the now is the Colorado Avalanche, and there is a very clear window that they are in, that they have been in, and due to great roster construction and retooling of the roster, they are very much so still in that window. And my goodness, that was a statement. That wasn't even close. That was good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. This is the best team in the NHL, with the Dallas Stars somewhat close behind them, and Dallas, I believe, winning in Seattle tonight 2-1 after blowing out Edmonton last night. We saw Colorado go into Edmonton and blow them out. So, you know, I mean, this is going to be a second round series, Avs Stars, but the Avs will have home ice. At least that's
What
where
a
it stands
joke.
right now.
What an absolute joke that
Yeah,
this has
but
to be
that's
a second round series.
I know. You just hope it doesn't wear the winner of that series out. Well, you hope it does if it's Dallas. If it's Colorado who wins that series, you hope it doesn't wear them out, because that might go 7. But yeah, they're the best team in the NHL, and they right now, and I can't see it changing, will have home ice in that series.
That game is not over currently. It is 2-1 Dallas through 40 minutes of play that is currently underway right now. Whole bunch of games around the National Hockey League, and there are 4 still underway. The Montreal Canadiens have a 4-3 1-goal lead against the Mammoth
That
on the
game's
road
been wild.
Yeah, every game with Montreal is wild. I expect Saturday afternoon's game to be wild against Montreal. The Senators have a 3-2 lead after 40 minutes of play on the Vegas Strip against the Golden Knights, and then the Stars a 2-1 lead on the road in Seattle. I would have to assume that one of those home teams comes back to win those games. I don't anticipate all 3 road teams getting victories there. But yeah, you're right. Those are the 2 best teams in the National Hockey League right now, certainly in the Western Conference. And after what we saw last night with what Dallas did to Edmonton yesterday, it's ridiculous that Edmonton doesn't have to face a team like that in order to get to the West Final.
Sure.
We're going to complain about that
unless they're the 8th seed,
times.
then it'll be Avs Oilers 8th seed. That'd be a heck of a matchup.
Right. That would be a heck of a matchup. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we have plenty of time to complain about that. And what I want to do is go through tonight's win. And you got a solid showing from the power play And I obviously think that Gabe Landeskog being there, being a left-handed shot that can win faceoffs, directly impacts Nathan McKinnon's ability to score on that one-timer. Ross Colton had a good showing this evening, obviously scoring that first goal. And Joel Kiviranta, as much as I go, he might be the odd man out when everyone is healthy. What does he do in his first game back? Well, he scores a goal, Spring.
Yeah, okay, a lot there. I'll start with what you just said. Kiviranta, yeah, he might be the odd man out if everybody's healthy, but will everybody be healthy game one of the playoffs or throughout the playoff run? So that's a pretty good 13th man, 13th forward to have. I'm a big fan of Yoel Kiviranta. How about that play? How about Bardakov on the boards right after the Manson goal? And then Ivan feeds Kiviranta, and boom. I mean, it's amazing having Kiviranta back. And look, respect to Tristan Nielsen, who had the nice play on the Makar goal, and your Jason Polans of the world, and your Taylor Makars of the world. I think Ivan, actually. I mean, we've seen him with the Avs. I've been a fan of his. He has some potential. I actually think there was a reason that they went with him tonight, knowing that Kiviranta was back. I think they wanted as good of a fourth line as they could have. And I know that there's like limited options on these AHL players. So like that would like Bardakov, Kiviranta, Ivan, considering where they're at, pretty good fourth line. Hey, bud or
Tito's
girl.
Tito's coming to say hi to everyone. He says, "What's up?"
All right, I was right with bud. Um, okay, the power play. Yeah, dude, Landeskog net front. And it's okay, they are back to their setup. Landeskog net front, Lehkonen bumper, but those two can switch. In fact, when McKinnon scores, it was Lehkonen net front. But okay, Nature's right wing, and there is a concern about him being a right-handed shot, but man, he can feed passes cross ice, can't he? And what I noticed tonight was not having Natchez and McKinnon bundled up on the same left side. McKinnon was able to have space and let those shots fire from the left side.
I completely agree. Keeping them away from each other feels like the right thing to do. And Gabe Landeskog is the key that unlocks all of this, because what he is a set and forget net front player. And that allows you to move Lehkonen into the bumper. And I think Lehkonen is Colorado's best bumper player. Nichushkin is good. I think Nichushkin has a better one-timer from the one or from the little bumper position in between the hash marks at the top of the slot. I don't believe he is a better distributor of the puck
I think that
like
Chushkin's
Lehkonen
good
is.
net front if you don't have Landeskog. I think that's his
Correct.
best role.
Correct. What I've seen them do in the past though is use Nichushkin as the bumper up top. So he's the guy that facilitates the puck if there is too much pressure on McKinnon, on Natchez, or on Makar, right? And I believe Lehkonen is a better facilitator from that role. That's what Landeskog unlocks is you can just put him in the middle, you can spread everyone else out, and now the puck does the work for you rather than the player's feet do the work for you. And obviously, we all know how fast Marty Natchez and Nathan McKinnon are, as well as Cale Makar. They are not faster than a puck. Um, I I know San Jose is not world beaters, man, but they are a plucky, fun
Yeah, they're up
team.
and coming, and to beat them
This
6-0
right.
is that's something.
This was I think you said it's a statement win, not to the NHL. It was a statement win to San Jose, going, you got us once, cool down. Like maybe that can happen. Colorado's buzzing. And the last time that you and I spoke here on this post game show, Spring, you went through the rest of their schedule throughout the rest of the calendar year. There's like 4 losses that I can look at and go, yeah, they could lose
Maybe
that game.
if that.
Maybe. With the way they're playing, dude, this is Boston Bruins territory from a couple of years ago, which I know people don't want to hear because they got bounced in the first round.
But this is different. You know, all season long, I was telling you the Bruins were frauds.
Right.
Like they're good. They were good. But and this is not homerism. This is not bias. This is completely different.
It's a team that Pierre LeBrun had a really good article in The Athletic a couple of days ago where he talked with Jim Nill, who is the 3-time general manager. He's the reigning general manager of the year. He's won the award 3 times. You know who he's the GM of? He's the GM of the Dallas Stars, the team that has had your number in the playoffs. And he goes, that team's different. That team is playing with something to prove, and they're very scary. And he's the GM of the team that has you figured the hell out. Something's different with this team. Something is clicked. It feels very much like the team that Nathan McKinnon looked at Adrian Dater and went, "I haven't accomplished a damn thing." I know he said some more color for words there, but I, it feels like that. It feels like a team that went out way too early in the postseason last year and goes, "We let something go away, and the next season we're not going to let it go away." What did they do after that year? They won a cup.
Yeah, no. Look, in terms of regular season success, and we've seen, I mean, this team is on a collision course with the President's Trophy, and there has been a President's Trophy curse. I get that, okay? And comparing it to the Boston team, that was the best. I cannot believe that team was the best regular season team in NHL history. They weren't even that good.
The
And
goaltending was sensational.
did they have Rask at the time still?
No, that was the two-headed monster of Jeremy Swayman,
Swayman and
and now
Olmark?
with the Ottawa Senators, Linus Olmark.
Okay. Okay. And look at what's Swayman has taken a slight dip, just ever so slight. Olmark has taken a dip.
He's playing better this year for Ottawa. Olmark's been solid, but
Okay.
he has. I mean, like he finished that year with like a
He's like a 930.
933
Yeah.
save percentage.
Yeah, I know. Um, and look, and look, Boston's like they're in the mix in the East. The East is weak, but Pastrnak, like it's Pastrnak, it's McAvoy. Now Marchand's with the Panthers, right? He's actually having a pretty underrated season. And part of the reason I was like, that's not real is David Pastrnak is not Nathan McKinnon. I love David Pastrnak. He is not Nathan McKinnon. And Charlie McAvoy ain't even close to Cale Makar. Okay, so that's your starting point. And then, as I mentioned at the start of the show, the retooling of the roster around it. It starts with the goaltending room. It's savvy little additions. You know, it's hey, the Miko situation was what it was, but you get Natchez and Drury. It's Brock Nelson. It's Gavin Brindley, who's not even playing right now. It's everything top to
Brent
bottom.
Burns.
It's Brent Burns and this. How about the Sam Olinsky goal? And what a shot! And Yaroslav Askarov was showing really well with his
he was.
right-handed glove, and he couldn't even match the Malinsky shot.
Sam Olinsky has, and this is Sam Olinsky has the best shot on the Colorado blue line.
Well, maybe second. You think best?
I think he has the heaviest shot per capita is not the right word because it's not, by population, but you know what I'm saying? By his body mass and his general size, he has the heaviest shot on the team. Every time he shoots the puck, it's like 90 plus miles an hour. It's ridiculous.
I think he's gotten so many pucks through.
He's like barely bigger than me.
Yeah, he's not a big dude. He's bigger than Gerard. And Gerard's and it's funny they talked about this on the broadcast tonight how Gerard's injury forced because it was Sammy and Josh and it was Burns and Malinsky, but because of the Gerard injury, now Burns plays with Manson. Malinsky was playing with your Solovyov and can't even remember. Oh, Jack Ashawn.
There you go.
Those fucking dudes. But now Gerard's back. But guess what? Manson, that was kind of destiny in a way because Manson and Burns are playing so well together. And now I think Gerard and Malinsky, there's something there. 1 through 6, I mean, and I really do think, look, the Woods have been great. But the defense in front of them, the 6-man D-core, is also playing very well. And that helps Wedgwood and Blackwood. And speaking of Blackwood, in recent weeks since Blackwood has come back, this would have been a Wedgwood start. But they went to Blackwood tonight. Now they got 3 and 4 nights. So Blackwood will play, I assume. He played tonight. I assume he plays Montreal on Saturday. He's going to get 2 of the 3. Blackwood will get 2 of the 3, but Wedgwood gets the toughest opponent, and that's Minnesota on Friday night or Friday
Without a doubt.
afternoon.
Yeah, that is the tougher opponent. You guys know how Spring and I feel about Marty St. Louis Canadiens team. Minnesota's the better team. They are the more
Yes,
dangerous
yes.
playoff laden team. They have more veterans, although I love their young players. And it's funny. I talk about their veterans. They are led by a rookie goaltender who's doing something that we really haven't seen done many times in history. He's throwing up big time numbers there for Minnesota to stay very, very relevant in the Western Conference. Montreal's fun to watch. I would give the Montreal game to Blackie. You could continue hamming and egging these two guys. Like, why change something that isn't broken? I wonder what was the save percentage for Boston back when they won the President's Trophy with Swayman and Olmark? I would
It
have
had to
to
be really
assume it is.
good.
I would have to assume it's way higher than what Colorado's collective save percentage is right now. And that's the reason why I look at Boston. I go, it's a little bit of an outlier because the goaltending was so damn good that year. The Avs have really good goaltending right now, the best tandem in the National Hockey League. But I don't feel as though that they're outperforming themselves. They're not out kicking their coverage by a ton.
No, no, no. I mean, they're on a heater right now. They've won 10 straight. But and yeah, it's funny because over the weekend they don't play their best. They're on the road. And, the malaise does start to set in of, now you've played a month and a half, almost 2 months of this stuff. And then the legs do start to tire, but you come home and they didn't overlook San Jose at all. We've talked about how they have their eyes set on the 1 seed and they're not going to overlook anybody right now. So the goaltending kind of bails you out this weekend. Yeah, it's funny because Minnesota probably has they're doing a thing. If you notice with Minnesota Wild social media, their account, they put up a brick wall as like their header. They're doing the whole brick wall thing between Gustafson and Wallstedt. We got the 2 tandems going head to head here on Friday nights.
Colorado's dual save percentage this year. Actually, let's add in Trent Miner because he played some hockey
Oh,
game.
that's
He
fun
played
because
some
he's
hockey this
good.
year as well. Including Trent Miner, the Avs have a collective save percentage this year of 920. When Boston won the President's Trophy back in 22-23, they had a collective save percentage of 929 through 82 games. Colorado is the 920 mark will likely go down by the time that the season is over, and they should still, at this point, they should still kind of like run away with the President's Trophy. What that tells me is the team is deeper. Now, if they outperform that and they finish with like a 925 or a 930 save percentage, I'll have the conversation again, but I don't anticipate that happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm looking at like Olmark's numbers with the Senators right now. He's got an 877 save percentage. He's winning some games.
He's winning games.
So sometimes you just have a season. Olmark had a season.
Yes.
Feels like maybe Wedgwood's having a season. And it's kind of like the Broncos defense, like you don't want to waste it.
Right. But the
But the
good
good
thing
news is
about Colorado is like there is no non-existent offense to like the
exactly.
closest thing you have to the non-existent offense is, well, the power play hasn't been very good, and if you look at the last like 15 games, it's starting to get better. Now, it's not perfect, but like 1 out of 4 tonight, it's kind of nice.
And the plan all along was Landeskog. They were just biding their time to put Landeskog on power play 1. And I tell you what, man. So he plays 16 minutes tonight, but that's because they won 6-0. That's because they didn't need him in the third period. So what I'm seeing from Landeskog right now, and keep in mind, he hasn't missed a game this year. You haven't load managed him in the sense of keeping him out any nights.
Good
Now
point.
they have load managed him with his minutes until the last week and a half or so since Brindley went out. He's ready. I think he can handle it. I think he can play 18 minutes a night now and play power play one going forward. And that will unlock the power play. Just 1 of 4 tonight. You'll take that. The numbers overall can go up. They will go up. Give it time as they continue to play Landeskog on power play one, and therefore overall his minutes go up. They are going to start getting a lot more power play goals.
Completely agree. Some other things from Brendan McNicholas, the fantastic president of communications with the Avalanche. The longest win streak in franchise history was set back in 1999. They won 12 straight between January 10 and February 7 of that year. Famously, lost out in the playoffs that season. They would end up winning a Stanley Cup championship the following year. They now have 10. There have been 3 separate 10-game win streaks in the Avalanche history. They had one happen in January of 2022. They had one happen in December and January of 2017 and 2018. Your longest point streaks in franchise history. Colorado currently riding a 14-game point streak. 14 straight games. They are 12-0-2 in that time frame. The only other ones that have outlasted the 14 games that they're currently on, a 15-game streak in 2021 between March 10 and April 5, where they had 28 points and a 13-0-2 record. There was a 16-game streak back in 2000-2001 where they went 12-0-3-1 with the same 28 points. And then the longest is a 19-game streak back in 2022 January 2nd to February 13th, the Avs went a staggering 17-0-2. They won a cup championship that year.
Bring this comment up from Eli. I think it's worth just mentioning. And Jared Bednar's been so great. How does Jared Bednar not have a Jack Adams award? Please tell me, says Eli. And I know it usually goes to the coach who is in his first year with the team and takes him from relative obscurity to something. Like, I don't know, is it Joel Quenneville this year with the Anaheim Ducks?
The NHL media account came out with a tracker which has 16 NHL.com writers cast their vote. It's kind of like the Bond Temps straw poll that he does at every quarter mark of the NBA season. This came out earlier today. And yes, Spring, you are correct. Typically, this award goes to the coach that did the most with the least amount of talent or the least amount of expectations. Now, there are some coaches that win this because their teams do so damn well. And you'll remember Boston's head coach that year that they won the President's Trophy and set the record for the most points and the most wins in a regular season in NHL history. Boston's coach won it that year.
Wow.
NHL.com as of 12 hours ago. Joel Quenneville leads with 61 points. Dan Muse, the Pittsburgh Penguins head coach, has 40 points. Marco Sturm, the Boston Bruins head coach, at 36. Jared Bednar is fourth at 34 points. And Jeff Blashill with Chicago is fifth at 23 points. Name the one guy that doesn't belong in that group of 5.
Was the last one you said Nashville?
No, Jeff Blashill of Chicago.
Of Chicago.
One dude that doesn't belong is Jared freaking Bednar.
Well, because he's not the one who took a team with lower expectations.
Very good.
But were the expectations for this team to be on pace, have one regulation loss through Thanksgiving, and to be potentially on pace to be the best regular season team of all time, and who has, there was a rhyme and a reason to how they orchestrated the power play, adding Dave Haxel. And I had my gripes with it, but they were playing around with things. It was very obvious what they were doing, and they were biding their time until Landeskog came back, and now they're doing that. And the way that he's mixed the lines, hell, I mean, remember what was the third period recently where they just Bednar blended the lines and they won on the road? Vancouver, when they got the 5-4 overtime win in Vancouver. And it was the second day. It was another one of those weekend back-to-backs when they won 9-1 in Edmonton the night before. And Bednar pulls all the right moves with a tired team the next night to get him their first overtime win of the season. He is an excellent. He's the best coach in the league. Let's just call him. He is the best. I know we love Paul Maurice in the Florida Panthers. Jared Bednar is the best head coach in the National Hockey League.
The last time that a team won as many games as the Avalanche are on pace to win was the Boston Bruins in 22-23 when they won 65 out of a possible 82 hockey games. That is almost unfathomable. Jim Montgomery won the Jack Adams that year, and a lot of people do believe it is the kiss of death. The last Jack Adams award winner to win a Stanley Cup championship would have been
Because it typically doesn't go to those coaches.
the
Montgomery was the exception, but that Bruins team was out kicking their coverage.
I'm looking right now. I think the last one to win a cup was John Tortorella in 03-04 with Tampa.
Yeah, because it typically doesn't go to those coaches.
Lindy Ruff the next year with Buffalo didn't win. Vancouver didn't win. Alain Vigneault. Bruce Boudreau with Washington 08 didn't win. Claude Julien 09. Did Claude Julien and the Boston Bruins win in 2009?
No, that sounds like a Penguins year or something like that.
Dan Bilesma won in 10-11. They may have won that year as well. I don't have the I don't have the Wikipedia Stanley Cup champion.
Red Wings maybe might have won in 09.
Yeah, there's got to be one of them in there. Like, but the rest of them I'm looking at right now. Hitchcock with the Blues, they didn't win it all. McLean with the Senators didn't win it all. Patrick Waugh with the Avs 2013-14 didn't win it all. Bob Hartley with the Flames in 15 did not win it. Barry Trotz with the Capitals in 16 did not win it that year. Tortorella with the Blue Jackets certainly didn't win it. Vegas Golden Knights in 18, their first year in the league, they got to the Cup final. They lost. They didn't win it that season. Barry Trotz with the Islanders didn't win it that year. Cassidy with the Bruins in 1920 didn't win it that year. Canes, Flames, Bruins, Canucks, Capitals. Dude, I don't think it's happened since. It's got to be one of those years. Claude Julien or Dan Bilesma. It's got to be one of those two.
Let me pull up lists of Stanley Cup winners. And while I'm doing that, I will say, like, I don't care if Jared Bednar wins a Jack Adams this year. I get the politics and the dynamics with that award, but let's just be clear, he is the best coach in the NHL. And that's and all that matters is that he ultimately leads his team to a Stanley Cup. I don't care who wins it. 08 Red Wings, 09 Penguins. Dan Bilesma was the head coach of the Penguins in 09. Did he win it in 09? There was Bilesma the Jack Adams in 09.
2008, 2009?
Yep.
Nope, that was Claude Julien. Bilesma didn't win it until 2010, 2011.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, so the other one I'm looking for would be Claude Julien 08, 09.
No. That was Bilesma and the Penguins winning.
So this hasn't happened since John Tortorella in 2003, 2004.
Correct.
Damn. That's almost as bad as the President's Trophy. The last President's Trophy to win a Stanley Cup championship was 2012-2013. Whose spring? Do you remember the team that got off to a rip-roaring start that year in a shortened season?
In which year?
2012-2013.
When the Avs, was it?
It wasn't the Avs. It was the team that the Avs are kind of chasing right now. In a shortened season, the Chicago Blackhawks went absolutely nuclear that year. Won the President's Trophy, won the Stanley Cup championship. And that's the team that, like, the Avs are hot on the heels for like one of the hottest starts in NHL history.
I think that was the last team to win. That was the last team to win the President's Trophy and win the Cup, right?
That is correct.
And then I'm the team before that, maybe the Red Wings did it, but I know the Avs did it in 01, right?
That's also correct.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it has been very rare, but it takes an elite team to do that. And Colorado is of that DNA. They could be the team to break the President's Trophy curse that we've seen for the past 13-ish years.
I think they could find a way to do it.
Yeah. No, because they're that type of team. Like those Chicago teams, they were built to win. This Avs team is built to win with the core of players in their prime, future Hall of Famers, elite players, complete rosters. Like, this is how you do it. This is the DNA. And
The long
they're showing everything right now.
the longest point streaks that I'm seeing since, like, what would you call the modern NHL? Would you have to go to the early 90s? Would you go to, like, the 80s when all the WHA teams come over?
I mean, there's supposed to be more, and there kind of is more parity now than ever. This cap is tight. It's brutal to deal with.
So let's just say, like, recent history, right? Because the longest point streak in NHL history is 35 games by the Philadelphia Flyers back in 79 and 80. The Montreal Canadiens had a 28 game streak back in 77, 78, but it's not the same league, and it's
No.
certainly not the same amount of teams in the same league. The Chicago Blackhawks had 24 straight games in that famed 2012-2013 season. I think Benny has a really, really good point here on YouTube. It's the start of the salary cap.
Yeah.
So after that Flames and Tampa Bay Stanley Cup final, the 03-04 one, the funny that we talked about, the John Tortorella, Jack Adams Stanley Cup season. There's only been like 5 teams to go on runs of about 20 games or more. The 21-22 Avalanche, Stanley Cup champions, went on a 19-game run. The 18-19 Boston Bruins went on a 19-game run. The 07-08 Sharks, that went to a Stanley Cup final, I believe, in that season, went on a 20-game run. The 05-06 Red Wings, that sounds like a Stanley Cup championship Red Wings team. That's around the right time, went on a 20-game run. And then the aforementioned Blackhawks team, 24 games. They won a cup championship in 12-13. Only elite championship teams do this in the modern era.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw, let's see, Nicholas Franco tagged us in this Dmitry Filipovich tweet. Here's something. The Avs now have a plus 46 goal differential. They were plus 38 coming into tonight. And so they're the highest scoring team in the league. They've also allowed the fewest goals. Coming into tonight, the next closest was Dallas at plus 15. Plus 38 to plus 15. Okay, let me finish this tweet here. The Avs now have a plus 46 goal differential through their first 23 games. That's a 66.2% goal share for the season. The gap between them and second place in that metric is the same as the gap between second place and 29th place right now.
Whoa, who's in 29th place?
Buffalo, something like that.
Great guess. I'm sure you're very close to being right.
So the gap between Dallas, I'm going to assume Dallas is second and call it Buffalo, is the difference between Colorado and Dallas. What the fuck?
League here. I'm going on goal differential right now. Plus 44. Dallas is plus 15. Dallas is number 2. And your 29th best team in the league, 32, 31, 30, 29, would be Edmonton at minus 18.
Crazy. Okay, plus 44, which is also a great. So I think Dimitri might have gotten it wrong saying plus 40. Yep, you're right. Plus 44. Great band. Mark Hoppus started plus 44 after Blink 182 split up for a little bit. And then Hoppus was in plus 44. And then, of course, Tom DeLonge did Angels and Airwaves. But plus 44, huh? You don't say. Man, it all comes full circle from all the small things in Blink 182 to the Avs being a plus 44 in goal differential. And that goals against stays at 50. It stays at 50 today because they didn't allow a goal again.
All right. So, in order to have the longest win streak in Avs history, they have to go through a little afternoon back to back on Friday and Saturday. They travel to the red hot Minnesota Wild at 1:30 on Friday, Black Friday afternoon, and they come back home to take on the Montreal Canadiens at 1 p.m. If they get those two victories, you turn the calendar to December of 2025, where you have another home game Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. on December 2nd. The Vancouver Canucks and Quinn Hughes come to town. That could be the evening that the Avs set a franchise record.
Yeah, the tricky one is Friday in Minnesota. If this game was in Denver, there's not a doubt in my mind they'd win this game. But because it's in Minnesota, it does make it a little tricky. That being said, I know Minnesota's playing well, and they got the good tandem. They got good young players. Like them being able to get like a Zeev Buyum, who's like in their third D pair, is a good way to kind of bring him along. Good little team. I honestly cannot see a world where the Avs lose in Minnesota, though. I cannot see the world. I can't see it.
What did I tell you about those 3 games that are currently underway that all 3 road teams were leading? We're now in the third period, about halfway through every single one of them. All 3 of those games are tied.
Minnesota had to go to they had to go to overtime in Chicago to get that win. Look, Montreal started the season red, smoking hot, and I was like, I'm a genius for picking them to win the Atlantic. They have come back down to earth just a little bit. They've struggled over the past couple weeks. They've been okay. You're gonna play Blackwood against the Canadiens. Wedgwood against the Wild. I mean, there's no reason they cannot, and they should, to be honest with you, get all 4 points, and that's impressive. That's more like to go into Minnesota, get on a plane, come home, and play a very plucky Montreal team. You come away with all 4 points. It's very impressive, and that's my expectation right now. It really is. I'm at the point where I will be shocked if they do not get all 4 points this weekend.
Yeah, you're in Pete Rose territory. You're at like, I would never bet against the Cincinnati Reds. Why would I bet against the Reds to win a game?
The big red machine.
I'm in Pete Rose territory where I go, yeah, I'm gonna like any game. I go, the Avalanche should win the hockey game, and I heard the guys on Sirius XM NHL radio earlier today. I think like Jason Demers had picked them to lose the last couple of games, and his mindset was, well, they're eventually going to lose. Yeah, they're eventually going to lose.
They are eventually going to lose, correct.
But I can't pick out a game on the schedule that I go, they're going to lose that game. I can't do it.
Minnesota's the one that makes the most sense, but I still just don't see it. And how maybe it's kind of like, then the Nuggets had to come home and play the Kings. And, hey, I get it. Maybe it's Montreal. Just because I would be shocked doesn't mean it's not impossible. And I wouldn't, in no universe do you freak out if they do not get all 4 points in that 2-game swing. But I mean, just in a realistic, to be honest sense, I see 4 points. And then Vancouver's 2 points. And then you're probably looking at some point in that 4-game road trip.
So there has to be a loss in that 4-game roadie.
But I mean, I'm also at the point where I don't know. What was your math? What was it? 70 what? 1 in 5? I don't know, man. I don't know.
76 1 in 5 is if they win out.
I mean, when do they play Dallas next? I don't think it's for a hot second.
I don't think it's for a hot second. You know what I need? I need Seattle to win this game in regulation, because you know how great it would feel for Colorado to be 3.5 games up on Dallas with a game in hand. That would feel so different to Dallas winning tonight and being just 5 points back. And you having a game
I think
in
Dallas
hand?
just scored.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. Who was it?
Dude, I was vibing. I was feeling you. I was like, yep. I mean, the Kraken tied this at 2. Vince Dunn scored 17 seconds into the third period. But let's see here. I'm seeing
The fucking
indications of the.
Raj curse comes back. Come
That's
on.
all right. Look, man, because Dallas, you win all the games you want. Like, I don't see the Avs losing.
They're too good, Spring. All right. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. Just a delightful showing. The team is a wagon. Spring, you have duties on Friday, right? So we are off tomorrow as a station. You can listen to all three of those National Football League games tomorrow, starting at like 11 a.m. We are your exclusive home for Westwood One here in the Denver metro area, altitude 92.5. So if you're looking to listen to football when you have to go out and someone inevitably forgot carrots or mashed potatoes or an onion, pop us on the radio, listen to some football. And then on Friday, not only do we have football, we have the Avs, and we have a special edition of Mark Springer and KJ Granderson from what time?
Immediately after Avs Network post game. So as soon as Berto's done, KJ and I will be on 92.5 until 7 p.m. for what is going to be a massive NBA Cup game because the San Antonio Spurs are going to win in Portland tonight. Therefore, if the Nuggets beat the Spurs on Friday night, then the Nuggets will advance to Las Vegas and play in the final 4-6. I don't know, whatever it is of the NBA Cup.
I don't pretend to know who actually gets through.
But I love the Cup.
Yeah, you
But we
do.
will also react to Avs Wild and we'll preview Broncos Commanders. That's immediately after Avs Wild on 92.5 taking you up to Nugget Spurs.
I'll let you guys know whether or not we're gonna do it between the pipes that day. Maybe Spring and I just do an extended version on Saturday after the two
Yeah, I
games,
think
the
we'll
back-to-back
do that. I
games.
don't think I will have time to do pipes on Friday.
So look for some
Unless you want to go
communication.
on solo, Raj, be my guest. I don't know.
Look for some communication from me and from the
Sure.
Altitude Sports Radio Twitter account on what we're gonna do for Between the Pipes on Friday and on Saturday. But expect a double version, a long version on Saturday afternoon after the Avs have that home game against the Montreal Canadiens before the DU Pioneers take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers later on that evening. Both games at Ball Arena, but um, holy crap, the Avs are a good hockey team, and I'll leave it with that. To all of you, to Mark Springer, my awesome co-host, my friend for the last seven plus seasons. A happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your family and your friends. It is a blessing to be around all of those people. So have fun. Watch some football, eat some great food, have some drinks if that's your vibe, and we'll talk to you guys over the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Avs are a goddamn wagon.